Question number 1. If sun rises 2 hours earlier in Arunachal Pradesh as compare to Gujarat, but the watches show the same time. But watches show the same time. Okay, watches show the same time. How does this happen? Also explain the why few years ago few scientists requested advancing Indian Standard Time by half an hour. Half an hours advancing the Indian Standard Time. Half an hour it is advancing. Okay. So India is a longitudinal extent west to east is approximately 68 degree to 98 degree respectively. We are going to west to east. So India has a longitudinal expansion. Expansion is there from west to east, and that is 68 to 98. Okay. So based on the Earth rotation, it takes 4 minutes to cover 1 degree. 4 minutes to cover 1 degree Celsius. And 1 hour cover 15 degree. 15 degree Celsius equals to 1 hour. This is the standard time dates. So as there is almost 30 degree longitudinal gap between west to east extents, there is a time lag of 2 hours on extreme edge. So in the extreme edge, the time lag is around 2 hours from west to east. West to east. This is reason why sun rises Arunachal Pradesh 4 to 4 am. 4 to 4 am in Arunachal Pradesh sun rises. In Porbandar of Gujarat, that is rises 6:30 am. Okay, this is the 2:30 am, 2:30 hours difference are there. So Indian Standard Time, what is this? It is 82.5 degrees Celsius and east latitude, that means 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. So this is the Greenwich Mean Time. And east latitude is 5 degree and 5 hours and 30 minutes. There is a difference. It is said that British region is selected this latitude for ensuring daylight saving in a state of plantation in northeast India. So that's why there is a daylight saving. Okay, so some expert opined that it would be better to have two time zones following daytime saving time method, alike they develop the vast longitudinal country like USA and Russia. So there is USA and Russia, and this is longitudinal countries. It has various drawback of particular India. Huge population state would lead to confusion and chaos. So require the adjustment of the clock and timetables. It would lead to increased rail and road accidents also, as our signaling and tracking system are based on automated network settling. Because of this time difference, road and rail accident could be there. So all based on the autonomous networking setting, and it is also impede our goal of implementing fully automated railway tracking management. That's why there are expert suggestion about the advancing our time setting for like half an hour for energy saving and reducing peak energy deficient. So what we want the half an hour adjustment so that we can save the energy. Okay, and because of that, for example, people in northeast state who are accused to start daily work 7 am. So in the northeastern area, people start the work at 7 am. Okay, and 6:30 itself, as there would be a plenty of sunshine by that time, and also reduce the requirement of energy for lighting and heating. So they can start work 7 am की जगह वो 6:30 पर work start कर सकते हैं, because there is a sunlight, plenty amount of the sunlight and lighting and heating. This would also help the sustainable power distribution and also make system ready to absorb the energy dynamic supply of the renewable power. Now next question is this is related to the time zones. This question was related to the time zones. And next question is, for sustainable livelihood, it is said that one should undertake mixed farming. So one should undertake the mixed farming, mixed intercropping, and integrated farming practices. Integrated farming practices. So explain this. A sustainable livelihood is quickly becoming the desired model, and developing country want to adhere to many of these countries, changing the socio-economical profile with agriculture being a prime form of livelihood. Because of agriculture is the prime form of livelihood. It is a prime form of livelihood. Okay, that's why in India current situation of the farming is given, most of it is rain fed. So we have the rain fed farming. We had the rain fed farming, and it has become the need of our to practice more sustainable and comprehensive farming. So modern agriculture practices, the role of modern techniques are integrated and mixed farming that become indispensable. Integrated and the mixed farming. So first is the mixed farming. Mixed farming. In the mixed farming, that is a crop growing with the livestock. Livestock and crop both are growing. The major aim is diversify the source and ease the burden of the resources. Next is the intercropping. Intercropping. This intercropping technique is involved the multiple growth of the crop. This practice has been increasing practice in India owing to enhance the crop productivity, and this will increase the crop productivity, and especially food security. It will ensure the food security. It will ensure the food security. Third is integrated farming. Integrated farming. Intercropping after the integrated farming. This is dynamic comprehensive management which emphasizes increase the efficiency and irrigation facility, land management, market linkages. So linkages it will include the market linkages, irrigation irrigation and land management. Okay, so this is about the sustainable livelihood, and undertake mixed farming, intercropping and integrated farming practices. Now next question is, how do you differentiate between capture fishing capture fishing, mariculture mariculture and aquaculture and aquaculture? All of three are new terms. First is capture fishing, second one is aquaculture, third is mariculture. What are the challenges in the fishing industry? Challenges of fishing industry. Okay, so one is capture fishing, refer to the process of obtaining fish from natural resources like lake, river and pond. So capture fishing is known, a fish is taking from the natural environment, that is the pond, and we can say it is pond, river and lakes. Okay, next one is the mariculture. So mariculture involves the cultivation of marine organism for food in the open ocean. This is in the open ocean. Marine things in the open ocean, enclosed selection of ocean like tanks, ponds. Okay, and third one is the aqua fishing. What is aqua fishing? Refer to the branch of involving the whole spectrum of fish product. It is the farming of both salt water and the marine water. Here is the marine water and salt water. Both fishing are there in the aqua fishing. What are the challenges of the depletion of the fishing industries? So first challenge is the depletion of fish stock due to the adverse impact of the climate change. So climate change is impacting this. Second one is the shoreline degradation, loss of coral reef and shoreline degradation, shoreline degradation. Third reason is lack of proper lack of infrastructure. Okay, and still large part of this sector need the overall term of technology and scientific management. So it need the technology and scientific management. Okay, so these are the challenges. So we establishing agro aqua farms, fishery state establishing awareness and literacy regarding the sustainable fishing and the harvesting and post harvest stages. So fish landing and the handling, harvest and the post harvest stages. Now third question is, last few years few soldiers died avalanche by the avalanche in the Siachen glacier. Okay, so what are the avalanche? How avalanche trigger? Identify the region, the world that are prone to this geophysical phenomena. So avalanche is a geophysical phenomenon. It is a geophysical phenomena. Okay, so an avalanche is rapid mass movement. It is a mass movement. It is a mass movement of snow and debris. Of snow and debris and snow at the mountain slope. At the mountain slope, this is the mass movement of the snow and debris at the mountain slope. This mostly considered the natural phenomena. Okay, natural and anthropogenic both. It is natural as well as anthropogenic. Okay, so natural is like overloading means important trigger, the weight of snow increase, overcome the cohesion in the snowpack underneath. Second is the temperature. Temperature is also reason for this. Temperature is the effect the cohesion of the snow. Rise in the temperature weaken the bonds creating, and while a fall in temperature increase the brittleness and tension of the slab. It will increase the brittleness and tension. Brittleness and the tension. Okay. Now slope angle. Slope angle. So slope angle, it is important to the most avalanche like 25 to 40 degree. Although avalanche have been noted as slope gently 15 degree and steep is 15 degree and the 60 degree. Okay, this is the slope angle. Next is the vibration. Vibration is also physical trigger cause the thunder. Vibration can cause the thunder, and by the explosion or other noises are shouting. Next one is tectonic activity. Tectonic activities. So this tectonic activity is the movement of earthquake and landslide. Movement of the earthquake and landslide. Okay, this so four factors are for the avalanche: overloading, temperature, slope angle, and the tectonic activity. Anthropogenic reason is movement of the sky. So now next reason is the anthropogenic reason, and this reason are, first one is the movement of the animal, snowmobiles and the trekkers, and notice for heavy machinery, explosion done by the snow. So explosion by the snow surface of construction activities. Construction activities is also reason of this avalanche. Movement of the animal, and next is the movement of animals and trekkers. Okay. Next reason is all higher mountain wars, military exercise. So wars and military exercise. Okay. So all high mountainous snow covered region are world Himalaya belt, Australian or Alp of the Europe, Rockies in the North America, Andes in the South America. These are avalanche prone region. So this Rockies, now Andes, Ural, Himalaya, these regions are the avalanche prone region. Okay, and anthropogenic factors play that very great role. Many lives lost by the catastrophic event. To avoid this, need a map and avoiding the excessive human activity, tectonic zones at the tectonic zones, and equipment to read avalanche sign, awareness among the people for the extreme condition. So these are the reason for the coming of the avalanche last few years. Okay, now next question is about the polar region are characterized by the typical optical phenomena. Identify the phenomena. So next question related to the polar region, and this is related to the typical optical phenomena. Typical optical phenomena, and explain the mechanism. What is the common name given to the phenomena? Also discuss the impact. So polar regions experience the optical phenomena that is known as the auroral light. That is known as the auroral lights. Okay. So this they are the called the aurora borealis, aurora borealis, and aurora aurora australis. Okay, two phenomena are there. That is the optical phenomena, aurora borealis and aurora australis. This is strange yet beautiful phenomena has two elements. Two elements are there. One is the Earth magnetic field of the Earth, and second one is the solar flares that is emerging at the Earth. So magnetic field and the solar flares. In this phenomena, glowing lights are produced in the atmosphere due to the mechanism. The sun emits the solar flare due to the regular explosion. These solar flares have a huge amount of atomic particle, and there is a atomic particles, huge amount of the atomic particles released due to the solar wind. Due to the solar wind, that is the solar flare. Okay. On the reaching near Earth, they are interact with the Earth magnetic field, and this is reaching to the magnetic field. This is reaching to the magnetic field, and the mixing of the highly ionized stream electron and the magnetosphere at the pole produce a cosmic glowing lights called the auroral lights. And because of the magnetosphere, there is a highly glowing lights. There is a glowing lights, and these lights are known as the auroral lights. These lights are known as the auroral lights. Okay, so impact of such phenomena: sun flare, which cause the effects result the ionizing of the atmosphere. It will cause the ionizing of the atmosphere. It will cause the ionizing of the atmosphere, and it will affect the communication line. They disturb the power distribution channel, so they can disturb the power distribution. Astronauts who come under the influence of might have health issues. So astronauts might be the health issues because of these lights, and they attract the lot of tourists, and they might help the solar and outer universe study. For the solar and outer universe study. Okay, so this question is related to the optical phenomena, and that is auroral uh, australis and the borealis. Okay, now next question is, what is cloud burst? What is cloud burst? What is cloud burst? Discuss the essential condition that can trigger the cloud burst. So we need to discuss about the essential conditions for the cloud burst, and what adverse effect of the landform and man-made structure explain. What it impacts the landforms and the man-made structure. So cloudburst is an extreme amount of precipitation. What it is? It is the extreme amount of precipitation. Extreme amount of precipitation. Sometimes will hail and thunder, and there is a hail plus thunder. Hail plus thunder. Two things are there which last no longer than few minutes but capable of creating flood-like condition, and it will create the flood-like condition. It will create the flood-like condition. According to the IMD, rainfall rate equal to greater than 100 mm per hour is cloudburst. If rainfall is more than 100 mm per hour, and it will known as a cloudburst. These are the manifestation of intense vortex on small scale. So it is the vortex, intense vortex at the small level, and conventional current and conventional currents are also there. Conventional currents are also there, and these are lift the moisture laden air to form the cumulonimbus and nimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus cloud will form here. Cumulonimbus cloud will form here, and this cloud shed the load of water with ferocity. But this is rapid precipitation, which is possible only large droplet can grow rapidly with small droplets, and this chemical reaction take place like diffusion of solid particle, and there is a diffusion of solid particles. Okay, so this is rapid precipitation, which is possible only when large droplet can grow rapidly with small droplet, and chemical reaction will take place diffusion of solid particle. Topographical conditions like steep slope. So what are the reason? Topographical condition like the steep slope of the hills are favor for the formation. Example, Kedarnath cloudburst in the Uttarakhand. So Kedarnath is a area where there is a mostly cloudburst happens. On human caused flood that led to the loss of life property, and on environment caused loss of vegetation, deforestation, further deteriorating the condition of the rise of temperature. On animal lost their shelter, migrate from places. So during the rainy season, especially hilly region, it becomes a certain preventive measure to tackle the frequency of disaster, like identification of the areas and locally available resources also. So this is all about the cloudburst. Now next section is next question is, what is the air masses? What is the air masses? Describe air masses. What are essential conditions for the formation of air masses? For the formation of air masses, how do it forms, and how does the passage of air masses affect the weather condition? How it affect the weather conditions? How it affect the weather condition? Okay. So an air mass is large body of air, uniform temperature, humidity, and pressure. So there is a uniform temperature plus pressure plus humidity. Okay, uniform pressure, temperature, humidity, and these are the large body of air. These are the large body of air, and in this there is a uniform temperature, pressure, and the humidity, which is adapted from the surface present below it. So essential condition for the air masses is uniformity in the meteorological condition. So meteorological conditions that should be uniform. Meteorological conditions should be uniform. Ample amount of time to adapt the characteristics, and we need ample amount of time. We need ample amount of time, and plain topography. Next is plain topography. Plain topography will generally assist, then formation of temperature inversion will not happen. So plain topography we needed, and temperature inversion will not be happen there. So what is effect of passage of the air masses? First, we need a uniform meteorological condition. Second, ample amount of the time. Third is plain topography. These three conditions are for the formation of the air masses, and uniform temperature, pressure, and the humidity we need in this. Now next situation, effect of the air masses. Effect of the air masses. What are the effect of the air masses? So first effect, when cold and hot air masses meet, they could cause rain due to the formation of occluded front. So if there is a air masses, okay, and one is the cold one, second one is the hot one. If both are accumulated, then it will create a occluded front condition. Front will be generated here, that is not occluded. Occluded front, for example, formation of extratropical cyclone and mid and high latitude. In the mid and high latitude, so this extratropical cyclone can be created. Second is passage of maritime air masses, generally contain the moisture that can cause the Mediterranean region. In the Mediterranean region, so in this region there is a contain the moisture, and that can contain the rain also. Tropical air masses is warm and doesn't contain much moisture. So tropical air mass, and that is warmer, and this does not contain any kind of the moisture, could create conditions of the heat wave, and this could create the condition of the heat waves. So heat wave can also be generated by this. For example, the Odisha, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, this is suffering from this. Polar air masses, that is ozone formation topography, movement of such air masses is primarily region of the topographical difference in Arctic and the Antarctic region, and that is reason for the polar polar air masses, and that is reason for the Arctic and Antarctic region. Due to the movement of polar air masses during winter, vegetation growth is hindered in high and mid altitude. So vegetation will also hinder in this high altitude. So what are the effect of air masses? First is the occluded front generation, and extratropical cyclone can be created mid in the and the high latitude. Second is Mediterranean rainfall. Third is Arctic and the Antarctic polar air mass can be generated. Tropical air mass, that is heat wave, can be generated. And the next effect is what? Next effect is tropical masses can be generated. Passage of the maritime air masses that can create the rain in the Mediterranean region. And polar ozone formation topography, movement of such air masses primarily reason of the topographical difference in the Arctic and the Antarctic. So these all are the reason for the air mass generation. Okay. So these 7 questions are important question for geography.